After Devin Singletary was ruled out with a groin injury, it was up to rookie Tyrone Tracy to take up the mantle at the running back position, and he did just that. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And listen, you know this video had to have been made. Tyrone Tracy, absolutely phenomenal performance. About 18 carries, 130 yards or so. Absolutely phenomenal. And I've been telling you about Tyrone Tracy. If you guys are not familiar with the video I made about him, the short documentary I made on Tyrone Tracy, I'll put the card right up above here. But check that out to get yourself a little background on Tyrone Tracy, then come back to this video. But Tracy is a 5th round draft pick out of Purdue, and if the big kicker to this whole draft pick situation and the big storyline behind Tyrone Tracy is that he is a wide receiver turned running back. He's only been a running back for this is his 2nd season, so about a year and a half of playing running back. He's been a wide receiver throughout his entire career. He's been kind of like a weapon in his high school days and a little bit in college, but he really tried to focus on wide receiver, switched to running back, and honestly, he looks like a veteran out there. And I'll get into a little bit of that in the film breakdown, but if you look at Tracy, man, the way he runs, extremely patient. His vision just seems like he's been doing this for a number of years. He's just a natural runner of the football. This is his position. And if you see the way he runs, his body type, and kind of how he goes about things as a running back really reminds me of Wayne Gallman, for those of you guys that remember him back in like 2020 in his legacy game versus Seattle. But if you guys remember everything I talked about with Tyrone Tracy back in the summer, I said that he is going to be the NFL's next electrifying player. And that is the title of the Tyrone Tracy documentary. And I think he's going to be just that. And I also said he might just be the starter by season's end. This is still a long season ahead of us, but may be a starter by the season's end. Before we get into the film breakdown, let's talk about our sponsor for today, BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS for a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. And remember, the second and third deposit are also 125% off. So a bonus to your bonus for all your betting needs. All right, we're going to try to cover as much as we can. I don't want to cover every carry that he had, but I picked out my favorite ones. So let's start out with the first one. Tyrone Tracy, you see him, right? 29 from the gun. Handoff. This is inside zone, and you can see that the main objective to hit is right here, but you see the vision of Tyrone Tracy immediately cutting it back because JMS misses block. Tyler Dodson read this from the inside backer position, filled his gap, went to go attack the gap, and almost got through. The help of Greg Van Roten help Tyrone Tracy gain a little bit more time, but you can see this is inside zone. From, they're moving from right to left. They're trying to move this way, right? You see that? And you see Thomas kind of making way here, trying to angle that tackle to make way here. Same thing with Runyon. They're trying to create room for this lane, and it was there. This could have been a huge run, honestly. He would have had one-on-one with this fella right here, but JMS missed his block. Tyrone Tracy cut it back and gained as much as he can. Chris Manhertz with a really good block and boxing out there and allowing Tyrone Tracy a little bit of a lane there. But the vision of Tyrone Tracy, this is not something you see out of a guy that is learning the position. This is like a veteran running back move, a guy that's kind of been in the mix of things for a while at the running back position and has run for a lot. He's only been a year and a half as a running back. It's crazy to see. All right, this next play, under center. You can see this is duo. This is not inside zone. This is man-to-man blocking. So what's going to happen typically in duo is that you're going to try to set up double teams, and you're going to have one of these guys work their way up to the second level and handle the linebackers that are eventually going to be biting down. And then whatever's left is going to be like the end blockers are going to be a one-on-one for the most part. In other situations when you got, more linemen you can get more double team set up and stuff like that. But anyway, so double team right here, and Thomas is going to move us to the second level, but he kind of gets tripped up here. I don't know if this defender kind of brings him back down as Leonard Williams. And Leonard Williams is able to get a shoelace tackle on Tyrone Tracy, but look at the room that he had. And again, look at the patience that Tyrone Tracy has, not to get too anxious and just hit the hole and try to, you know, run right through his offensive lineman. Stays patient, stutter steps. I would like him to have a little bit more balance. We've seen him kind of get tripped up many times and kind of lose that center balance and run too upright. And that's what happens. You got to get a little lower so you could be a little bit more sturdy with your legs. But this is a good run. Leo Williams just tripped up Tyrone Tracy. Good run. You know, Tyrone Tracy is 5'11", 209, but he looks a lot smaller than he actually is. Maybe that's just because of the wide receiver build that he has. But he's small enough, even though he is 209, 5'11", he's bigger in every sort of way than Devin Singletary. But he's just so slippery, so slim enough to kind of get as much yards and slip through that line for as many yards as he can. You can see him here taking the snap, inside zone again, and he's just look at him trying to back his way in to getting more yardage. I kind of admire that. I admire that he's putting his body on the line to just get that extra yard. If there's an extra yard to be had, he wants it. He knows he's not the biggest guy out there. He ain't trucking anybody. He knows there's a lot of traffic here. He's just gonna put his head down and allow these guys to basically kill him and get as much yards as he can. I admire that, though, from a wide receiver turned running back. Usually wide receivers don't like contact. Tyrone Tracy wants all the smoke. Check out this run, a 27-yard run. Fun fact, he only had 29 yards as, I believe, on 12 carries, 29 yards from the past 3 games that was played, or 4 games that were played. 27 yards alone on this run. This is duo again. So again, what are we looking at? Double team, and you're looking at Runyon moving out to the second team, and maybe Illuminor. Yeah, it's going to be Illuminor moving out to the second team, and Tracy kind of has to pick his hole, pick where he wants to run through, and he stayed. Look how patient he is. Look at the footwork. His footwork has been inconsistent, but this shows great footwork here. No wasted movement. Look at that. No wasted movement. You kind of see he kind of stutters here. Boom. Plant leg. Patient enough to let that hole open up, and he's off to the races. Look at that. He makes that. Rayshawn Jenkins, besides that fumble return touchdown, he was terrible in this game as a safety, moving downhill, trying to stop Tyrone Tracy and even Daniel Jones. He could even tackle Daniel Jones by himself. Look at this. Look at this. Great running. This is great hard running, man. And you don't even need to force contact. You don't need to be Marshawn Lynch, right? Or in the open field. You don't need to hit this dude. Yo, look at the angle he takes. Perfect angle to keep moving. Great job. Great job to evade the safety already coming downhill on you. This should be wrapped up. This should be done. I would say it's just, I mean, it is a bad job at the safety, but it's a good job by Tyrone Tracy not forcing contact, putting in that second gear and going. Beautiful run here. Just to go back. Beautiful run here. Got the double team set up. And how about the offensive line, man? How about the offensive line? Look at Runyon. Noticing that the linebacker is noticing that the linebacker is sort of kind of moving to this gap, and he's sealing off this block here to make sure nobody gets past him, and Tracy's able to get right through. Man, that's awesome. Tyrone Tracy, electrifying. Again, good vision. And listen, not every play needs to be, getting up to the second level. Not every run needs to be a touchdown. It's plays like this where there's nothing here. There's nothing at all. This is split zone. All right, you're going to have Bellinger on the split here to seal off the cutback. And you got Tyrone Tracy, almost one-on-one on this player here, Jerome Baker. And he's just going to bounce it outside. Nothing's there. Now, he does need to, I'll tell you one thing, he does need to work on that plant leg a little bit. A lot of running backs are going to plant right here. he kind of stutters into it, right? Let's notice that a little bit. As a running back, I definitely notice he kind of just try to run upfield instead of planting and getting upfield. Now, this wasn't going to make that much of a big difference, but you kind of want to see that a little bit. He kind of just tries to get upfield, and it slows you down. You got to be able to plant right there, plant, and just explode upfield. And maybe you could have gotten a little bit more momentum and, you know, gain a yard extra or two. But it kind of slows you down when you're pedaling your feet and trying to run and change direction at the same time. You want to be able to plant, right, this leg right here, right there. No, I'm trying to get it right there. Yeah, you gotta want to plant right there. Boom, right here. You kind of want to do that and just get upfield. A lot of running backs do it. You see it all the time. It is a little bit petty, but you know, it is a criticism nonetheless. You know, these guys are trying to get better every day. They're not perfect players, and you know, that's something you want to see. The Giants ran such a good mix of zone and man-to-man blocking, something that we haven't seen from the Giants. Usually they go all man-to-man like we saw against Washington, or they'll like go all inside zone, outside zone, wide zone, like what Brian Daboll typically does in his offense. He's a zone running sort of coordinator. He's a zone running sort of game designer or play designer. But if you look at here, the big question was, can Tyrone Tracy run inside zone? He even said that in an interview. He's like, I know everybody's asking, can I run inside zone? Can I run in between the tackles? Do I have the vision? Do I have the power? Do I have the speed? Do I have the experience? Because a lot of guys, you need experience. You need to know how these holes are going to be looking up by the time you get the ball and you're running through that certain gap. And look at, he's running like a pro right now. Running like a pro, deciding where he wants to go very easily. If you guys remember Andre Williams, if you're a Giants fan, Andre Williams, the 4th-round draft pick out of Boston College. I want to say in 2016 or 2015. He didn't have any vision at all. I loved him. I did. I loved him as a person. I still follow him on Instagram. I love him as a person. He's a great guy, but he had no vision as a running back. He would take this ball, and he's running straight up here. He's running straight through, and he's going to try to pummel you because he was huge. He's going to try to pummel you, and that's how he's going to work his way and get his yardage. Tyrone Tracy runs like an experienced runner where he's going to take this handoff, get patient. He could have easily tried to run through here, but look at this block shed waiting to happen. He could have easily drank the Kool-Aid here and said, "Oh my God, that's a hole. That's a hole I want to hit. Look at all that green space here." Nope. He said, "All right, I'm gonna stay more patient. I'm gonna see what else is working for me." And he found a better lane. And got more yardage out of it. Gotta love it from Tyrone Tracy, man. I love the way he's running. He's always been a slippery, decisive runner. We've seen that in Purdue, and I was really excited to see how that was going to translate in the NFL, and so far, so good. All right, this is a play that the Giants like to do. It's one of their more advanced running schemes. This is what's called crunch. So this is where you're going to have 3 pulling blockers or 3 kind of switch blocking, and you're going to have Van Roten on what's called an influence block, where he's going to pull and seal off the backside. You're going to have John Runyon come in and seal off the backside A-gap. And then you're going to have Manhurts sealing off the defensive tackle here. And Tyrone Tracy then gets to pick where he wants to go. But usually it's going to that, hitting towards this play side tackle. So... And Tyrone Tracy hits it perfectly. But again, I have a little bit of a criticism when it comes to his inconsistent footwork. He has good footwork. I think in some plays, it really flashes very well. In some plays, it could be a little better. And this is just him. He tripped up on Andrew Thomas's feet here, but he's got to be better than that. He's got to work his way through and not trip up. This is the second time he's tripped up already. I know Leo Williams tripped him up before. I get that. But you kind of want to have a little bit more balance. You see a lot of these elite running backs in the NFL, man. Nothing is tripping them up, man. They are staying on their feet. Look at Alvin Kamara. He's got one of the most nimble feet in the NFL. This guy does not get tripped up. He's very low center of gravity. It's very hard to get this guy to fall down. And Tracy a little high on this run. Pads a little too high. That's kind of what got him to, not pay attention there and trip up on Andrew Thomas. But this is a great decision. Great read. Great decision. This is an advanced run blocking play. Look at all this movement going around with the offensive line. It can be kind of confusing for a first year, second year running back that's ever been playing the position to kind of know where he's got to go. But he saw the hole there. Got decisive. And again, this is another thing where he tries to just run through the gap and turn upfield instead of planting his leg. He didn't really plant here. You want to see him kind of hit that one cut like Rashad Jennings and just one cut and burst right upfield. He kind of runs upfield. He kind of runs and turns upfield, and that's part of the reason why he tripped. Okay? Kind of want to plant that leg and just go right upfield, and maybe he wouldn't have tripped. But like I said, little criticisms, but I love the guy, love what he's doing. Now, to me, this was a very impressive run. Again, you don't need to gain much. You don't need to have 15 yards on a run to say that's a good run. This was a great run. Again, I talked about guys like Andre Williams that the Giants has had in the past that just takes this ball and just runs straight into traffic, just run straight into a wall and try to get through there and gain a yard or two. I mean, it was constant back then. Guys like Tyrone Tracy, different breed. Okay, this is duo. All right, this is duo. They're gonna have double team blocks. They're mixing in this man-to-man blocking again. The linebacker's gonna come down. You're gonna get some of these guys to move up to the second level of guys there. JMS gets he barely misses that block, but Van Roten is there to help him as well. They get a double team in there, but check out Tyrone Tracy. Look how patient he is. He gets square, sidesteps, and picks that new lane that opened up. Look at that. That's like veteran running back play, man. A lot of these rookies, go ahead and watch rookies film. They get so confused behind these lines. Right? They get so confused about what the hell is going on. They get anxious, they get nervous, they don't want to mess up. So they just try to hit this hole and run right into where the defense wants you to go, because they're not patient. The game hasn't slowed down for them. Tyrone Tracy, it seems like this game is slowed down for him, where he knows he has enough time to get even, burst, wait for this hole to open up, and hit it. All right, and gain as much as he could. This could have been a tackle for loss if he would have just hit the hole here. Tackle for loss, or maybe you gained a yard or so. He gained a couple here, man. It's about a 4 or 5 yard gain there. And this is going to be the last play we cover. This is going to be a duo run block again. He's going to take the ball and get to the backside. Instead of hitting the play side, right? We're going to hit the backside. Again, staying patient, waiting for those blocks to open up. And look at Van Roten, man. Check out Van Roten here to seal off this block. Look at him angling himself and sealing off that block. They already dragged that linebacker into this gap. Beautiful. Man, Rayshawn Jenkins was getting absolutely killed in this game. That fumble recovery is the only highlight he had in this game, because Rayshawn Jenkins couldn't tackle my grandmother out there. I'm telling you, he couldn't hit anybody. But that's all I got for you guys today when it comes to Tyrone Tracy. Again, phenomenal debut for Tyrone Tracy as a starting running back in this league. 18 carries, 129 yards, 7.2 yards per carry, and his first NFL game as a year-and-a-half tenured running back. Like, that's what I want to see, man. He's developing extremely quickly, and guys got to know about him. The NFL has to know about him, and I'm just a vessel in doing that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video, and as always, we will see you guys next time. Go Big Blue.